Thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. My name is Ebrahim Alareqi. I'm a principal machine learning engineer at Incorta. Prior to Incorta, I worked for different companies. One of them notably is Volvo Cars, where I led their data science platform globally. Before I talk about Incorta and what Incorta does, I just want to acknowledge some of our amazing customers that we have at Incorta, notably Broadcom, a $1 trillion company, where we were with Broadcom when they were actually a $5 billion company, all the way to seeing them succeed, acquiring different companies. The beautiful thing about Broadcom is it's a company that uses Incorta and only Incorta for everything analytics. They ingest petabytes of data, and we're happy with this customer. We also have Starbucks, which is also one of our amazing customers. And with their 38,000 locations globally, they're able to know by 5 p.m. which perishable goods that needs to be, we need to drive promotion to, so that in real time, they can run that promotion. They know at what region, at what level, and which local store, and what are these little transactional level items that they're able to drive that promotions on. And we have a lot of other amazing customers. So what I wanted to show is we work with scale. And if you look at, everybody's talking about data, everybody's talking about Gen AI, but if you were to see where Gen AI and agentic frameworks are currently deployed, number one is code generation, without a doubt. As you know, GitHub CEO said 30% of the code committed to GitHub is actually AI generated. And this is not, we're not talking about vibe coding. We're talking about assistant, code assistant. Chatbots, virtual agents. This is the second use case, and you see a lot of companies like Windsurf being acquired by OpenAI now. A lot of these chatbots are becoming smarter. A lot of these virtual agents and agents are becoming even more smarter. The third thing is auto generation of visualization and dashboard, and I can tell you the bad news that dashboards are becoming dead. You will not need dashboards soon. And I'll show you a demo now how we at Incorta are enabling our business users by just putting their intent, what exactly they need to do. And since we own the entire pipeline from ingestion to visualization and beyond, we're able to understand and bring and surface the data that this business user needs and serve the right visualization and the right insight to them. And of course, app automation and workflows, and that's also the fourth use case. But looking at enterprises and checking what enterprises are doing, and zooming into BI, I just want to focus on one use case, on one role in enterprises, which is business user. So it starts usually from the business user. They ask the question, and then everyone else is supporting them. The business analyst, the data engineer, and in some large companies, it's the data team that try to bring that data to the business user so that they can run their insights. And traditionally, what happens is the business user will ask the question. Business analysts, their job is to talk to the data engineer. Data engineer will go connect to the data, bring the data, transform the data, and then deliver it in, let's say, a data warehouse, where the BI analyst sitting with the business user trying to understand what they do, what they need to answer, and then build these beautiful dashboards for them, and then the business user consume these dashboards. Sometimes they're not even interested in how to make these dashboards, even though recently a lot of tools have come out to enable this business user, low code, no code. They try to offload some of the data analyst, job to the business user, but the adoption has shown in the last 7 years that it's only 35% adoption of all these beautiful tools, and billions of dollars are spent there. The problem is, it's always hard for them. They're not willing to go the extra mile. So with the advent of Gen AI now, it's actually becoming more and more, business users are now adapting these tools. They're becoming more user of it, and data from Gartner shows that about 50% of these users are actually now adapting to these tools. And I'll show you an example, a demo at the end. And that's how it used to be. Back in 2005, all you have is dashboard, static dashboard, and with blue is what we call self-service, and with the other one, the gray, is what data professional has to do. 2012, we enabled these business users to filter these dashboards and edit them. By 2018, these users are now able to bring their dimensions, only if they're prepared and ready. And with natural language now, and with big data, it's the user is able to use the best tool, which is their English, which is whatever language they speak. They're able to put their intent, and the right data, the right visualization, the right insight is surfaced to them. Early 2023, a lot of models came out, and every company got to work, started to prompt these models to get the best out of them. And then they realized, oh, a lot of hallucination is happening. So what we need to use RAG, retrieval augmented generation. We need to surface the right data, the right company data, so these models are able to reason better and serve the right generation or the right insights. And then we realized that, okay, now I know, what if I can take an action? And that was the or the birth of agent. And now we're in this agentic, framework, where not only one agent is enough, I need more agents, with more tools and more, better LLMs, better RAG, and these technologies are updating by the day. So as we go, and we don't know what's next, as we go, these things will get even more better and better. With the LLM, some scientists think that, LLMs are not going to be the ones, that drive us forward, but whatever technology that will come and enable us to reason will be the next thing. We at Incorta, when we talk to our customers, and also based on Gartner survey, only 10% today of AI or generative AI projects are in production. And the reason is lack of detailed and trusted data. It's very difficult to deploy. Lack of security and uncontrolled costs. And it's clear. This is what people call the modern data architecture. You have these complex systems like the Oracles of the world, the Workday, the SAP, the Salesforce, very complex systems with hundreds of tables and thousands of dimensions. What people do is they put them in a staging, place, and you extract 100%. Cool. Is this data useful? No. By the time it gets to the refined data zone, you have about 25% of that data. By the time it's in a business zone or data marts, you only have 10% of this aggregated data. And the more you go, you have two factors. It's more expensive to go this way, because you have to involve a lot of data engineers and a lot of data scientists. And by the time it's there, it's not useful for the world of agents. You have a lot of agents that are hungry for data. They need to know the context now. And sometimes for certain companies, some of our customers, one line here costs millions of dollars. And some of our customers takes months and months before Incorta to get to the other side, and sometimes more than that. The second thing is, as I mentioned, difficult to deploy. You need the right technical talent. You need to be up and running with all the foundation data. You need a scalable RAG system, not the YouTube one that your team would check and see. The right chunking, the right validation, and ongoing support. And for companies that are not in the data business, it's very hard for them to track all of these things. Security. These models are public models. These models are trained for the general public. They're not purposefully done for your company. And sometimes, if the team is not ready, the data will end up being part of these trained model. Not only that, the internal access for data is also a problem. And the last thing is there's so many unknowns there. My friend May, who's the CEO of Ryder, she said, just talk to Fortune 10 company, and they're spending about $3 million a month just for API call without a real use case. So what we do at Incorta, we provide a live, detailed data for our customers. We tell our customer upfront how much these projects will cost. It's a fixed cost. With Broadcom, we have about 17,000 users that log into Incorta daily. And it's fully managed. You don't have to worry about the deployment. You don't have to worry about the latest technology that will come out. We'll bring it to you through Incorta Nexus. And it's private. And what we do at Incorta, if you currently have a data pipeline, you can keep your traditional ETL through all these amazing technologies that you see up there. You can augment it with Incorta, and that's exactly what Broadcom did. They started with a small use case, and then little by little, they realized that Incorta is a faster way of doing things. They acquired VMware. And in a few weeks, VMware was completely up and running with the help of Incorta, with the ecosystem of Broadcom. What we do is we ingest the data, it rests in Incorta in a Parquet file, and next to it is a DDM, our technology, direct data mapping. It's in its third normal form. It's exactly the same replica of your original data. Because of this DDM now, we're able to surface the right data. We don't do a lot of ETL. There's no complex ETL. It's your original data. That's why when you are in our dashboard, you're able to drill down all the way to the transactional level. So, and I mentioned it's private. We went from the beginning with open source, so we use the Llamas of the world, the Mistrals of the world. And here you have it. That's Incorta Nexus, which is a lot of agents. In every single app that you have in Incorta, you can customize your own. And we have an enterprise RAG, and we partner with the best in the world. We recently were announced at Google Next. We were one of the main developers with Google with A2A agent protocol, agent-to-agent protocol, as well as agent development kit. Let me show you a demo where we tie all of these concepts together.
Fleet management involves tracking vehicle performance, managing driver behavior, and ensuring your entire fleet operates smoothly. Compliance with regulations keeps your fleet on the road, helps avoid costly fines, reduces risk, and ensures the safety of your drivers and the public. Incorta, with new generative AI capabilities, delivers business value by enabling fleet managers to monitor compliance, control costs, and optimize operations. What if this dashboard still leaves us with some questions? Let's go ahead and use the Copilot. First, I wanted to know my average repair cost per vehicle. Perhaps some vehicles need to be retired from the fleet, or we should find a new maintenance vendor. Next, let's investigate how much repair costs I have paid each day for all vehicles. It looks like we have spent $10,650. I find this visual particularly useful, so let's use the Copilot to create an interactive dashboard element. In this case, I'll simply add the keyword insight to my prompt and run. Now we have a chart we can add to the dashboard. Once it's in the canvas, I can update the insight or edit the layout. We're not done yet. I see that one of our vehicles used a non-approved vendor for maintenance. I thought the vendor used here was qualified. Using Copilot, we can query unstructured data, like PDFs. In this case, we have a corpus of the State Fleet Management Handbook. Let's ask, what constitutes an approved vendor for maintenance? It appears they need proper insurance and have the required licenses. I do have a reliable, non-approved vendor with quick turnarounds. Can we still use this non-approved vendor for quick, inexpensive fixes? Let's say under $300. Great, it looks like I can use them as long as the repair costs don't exceed $350. Now, I could have gone through each vehicle's repair history to determine whether it is compliant and rationalize why it is or is not, but Incorta intelligently enriched this dataset to check compliance. In this data flow, you can see we are importing a simple dataset outlining vehicle maintenance history. The magic takes place in the LLM tool. The first thing you might notice is that our LLM model is one that improved with RAG, which refers to the State Fleet Handbook. With this context, the LLM can assess our prompt to determine whether the maintenance completed was compliant and why it was or was not. And there you have it. With the power of generative AI, Incorta can take away the most menial tasks and leave you with more time to focus on the strategic imperatives of your organization.
So, what should I consider when I develop my AI strategy or data strategy? It needs to be the accessibility and democratization. You need to make sure that Everyone in the company has the right to access the data they need, and that's what we do at Incorta. We give role-level security, so if I'm CTO and I'm asking a question, I'll get different answer from someone else who's asking the same question, who's in a different department. Your advanced analytics and reporting needs to be done with Gen AI and agentic frameworks, because that's the future. Scalability from the design, from the beginning, you need to think about a scalable solution, not a consumption-based solution. And it needs to be an open platform, like Incorta. Incorta is an open platform. You can ingest the data and then publish it to Power. You can work with Power BI, Tableaus. You can push it to BigQuery and other systems. And you can have Incorta dashboarding and Incorta Gen AI analytics as well. So it needs to be an open platform. Is your company ready to leverage AI and generative AI? Incorta is the company to do that with you. We are in the back in the booth. We have Zach as well. Will be with me at the booth. We'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of the day.